Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. All right, let's talk about actual college basketball teams that are worth talking about at this point. You guys good with that? So I wanted to start with there are 7 undefeated teams left in the sport right now. And some of them are more surprising than others. Houston's undefeated, Arizona's undefeated, Baylor's undefeated. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. James Madison is still undefeated, and they have a win at Michigan State. So I guess
which
doesn't look all that great right now. But they're still 9-0 with a win in the Breslin Center, which I think says a lot. But the 3 teams that I wanted to talk about here,
Oklahoma, what was more impressive, the win at the Breslin Center, the win at Kent State?
Probably the win at the Breslin Center because they just dominated them the whole game. Like it was.
I disagree.
You disagree? Fair enough.
The win at Kent State, you had to follow it up. Like sometimes it's the game after.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But then the other 3 teams that I wanted to talk about with you guys, Oklahoma, Clemson, and Ole Miss, because I think that they are 3 teams that we've talked a little bit about Clemson and we got into Oklahoma on After Dark on Saturday night, but I feel like those 3 teams we haven't really spent much time diving into. So Tio, I think I know what your answer is going to be here, but out of those 3, who are you trusting the most? Like which one of those 3 teams is the best of the group, is like where this undefeated record is real?
2 of them are real. 2 of them, Ole Miss and Clemson. And Clemson, I feel like I've waxed poetic about them enough, but I hate to say it, guys. I hate to pat I really like this Mississippi team coming in. Because they still had guys like Alan Flanagan was really good a couple of years ago. He's coming back off a torn Achilles, 3 seasons ago? And now he's finally that second year back after a major injury. That's kind of when things explode. And he's been awesome. Matthew Morrell has been good. He's shooting as well as he's ever been. And then you have Chris Beard running things. And Ole Miss has had talent for the past 5-6 years. They just have struggled putting the whole thing together. I thought Ole Miss could be really good because the way Chris Beard coaches, the style in which they employ, they're big across the board. And Moussa Cisse's there. And then I'll be honest, guys, like the evolution of the NBA with the super big guy, the super big athletic guy, Jamarion Sharp's going to find a way. Like that dude runs like a deer. He's 7'5". He moves. He doesn't have bad touch. Like they are a nightmare to try to score against. Now, defensively, Kim Pom hasn't caught up, in my opinion, and they haven't played anybody all that great. They beat Memphis. That was a good win, but like Kim Pom hasn't caught up with what they're doing yet. They're ranked 103rd in defense through 9 games. I can't find a scenario where a coach walks into Oxford, Mississippi, and it's like, I'm going to be able to score today because look at all that length. Look at all the bigs inside. They have 2 elite shot blockers with Cisse and the big fella, Jamarion Sharp. I don't know why that name keeps slipping out of my head, but with Sharp and Cisse down there, that is a nightmare waiting to happen. That team will defend, and they've got enough individual playmaking to where I think they can win some close games at the end of the clock. Clemson's really good. I think they're going to continue to be really good.
So here's what they've done. They beat Detroit Mercy by 1. They beat Sam Houston State by 3. They beat Temple by 1. They beat Memphis by 3. They beat UCF by 2. They have a 9-point win over Mount St. Mary's. They have an 11-point win over Eastern Washington, a 10-point win over Alabama State. Their only blowout was a 20-point win
against NC State
over NC State. So they've won 5 games that were single possession games.
Yep. I think they're going to be fine. I think the fact that they're winning close games says a lot because you have some of these talented guys that can score at the end of the clock and at the end of the game. Like you have to have all that. Plus, they can crash the offensive glass with all that size. Clemson's really good. They have a lot of weapons. They've been really good despite Chase Hunter not finding his footing. Once he finds his footing, it's like, my goodness, there's 5 guys on the floor that can hit a shot at all at once. And Clemson's going to continue to be good. They're going to continue to guard. But them and Ole Miss, I worry about Oklahoma a little bit because of the longevity of some of their guards. That's the thing that scares me.
Yeah, you hate JVR McCollum.
I don't hate him. I just think that small guards have a hard time in the Big 12. And when I say small, like Marquise Noel, that's the first person that everybody's going to throw out. He's like this stocky, short guy. Like JVR McCollum's frail, thin. Yeah. I wonder if that's going to be.
Noel and McCollum were.
I hope it does, but I wonder if it's going to be.
But they don't.
They were listed as the same weight, Tio, and McCollum has like 8 inches on Marquise Noel.
That's what I'm saying. He's a string bean.
Yep. Go ahead,
Okay.
Fana.
Well, but in my mind, if you're picking between these teams today, I respect the heck out of your opinion, but Ole Miss narrowly beating Detroit Mercy and Sam Houston State, whereas Oklahoma has averaged 84 points per game and only is allowing 63 per game and has beaten Providence, Arkansas, USC, and Iowa.
Yep.
I am not going to disrespect the Sooners.
Don't disrespect the Sooners.
Don't disrespect the Sooners. You know why? Porter Moser has a group that really fits him. He has a combination of transfers and sophomores. Sophomores that have taken a great leap, and the transfers would fit right in. They have length. They're going to defend you. And Otago has become one of my favorite players in this sport. Because he's a dog. You're right. He imposes his will physically.
You know what? Do you know what he's shooting from three this year? You know what he's shooting from three? He's shooting 82% from three. He's only taken 11 attempts, but he's shooting 82% from three. That's T.O. on the Papa shot numbers right there.
And they're averaging 8 3-pointers per game, but they're only giving up 5 made threes a game. So their perimeter defense has been very, very good. They're dictating games on the perimeter. They are rebounding the basketball quite well. I mean, their rebounding margin is close to plus 10. And guys, they do have dogs. I mean, Otago, he's got a 215-pound frame. He's from Newark, New Jersey. Guys, if you're from Newark, New Jersey, you are tough. He is a tough kid. John Hughley, tough kid. Like, T.O., we talked about this last week, I think. Hughley did a lot of good at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he was good. Yep.
He's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
And McCollum was a steal. And you know, you could talk about how you're concerned about how he's going to hold up in the Big 12. And I get those concerns. But, like, you take a look at this team, and I don't even think Milo Suzan's even fully broken out yet. Like, he's their 4th leading scorer. They thought he could be their leading scorer, 2nd leading scorer. The point, they've got balance. They're not one-dimensional. They do it on both ends of the floor, and they're 19th in KenPom right now. So I'm taking Oklahoma here. I'm going to raise the Sooners flag. Look, you know my feelings about Clemson, and they're 8th in my top 25, and some people think that's too high, but please help me here. Is it Ian Shefflin?
Ian Shefflin, yep.
Shefflin was a man against TCU.
Hold on, Fana. What did you call him? T.O., you tweeted something out about him, about Shefflin. Do you remember what it was? If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD200 and you will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly when placing your first wager of at least $10 with BetMGM. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD200. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game regardless of sport. You will receive $200 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Just make sure that you use the bonus code FIELD200 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today.
Baby Barkley in a Clemson jersey. Yeah. I said that on the show, and Goodman interrupted me. Yeah, Baby Barkley in a Clemson jersey.
Yeah, he's so good.
They are really good. Clemson is the best team in the ACC.
I actually agree with that take, Fan. I think that they are the best team in the ACC. I know it's early, but it's never too early to fire off a hot take. And this is where I have to mention Vaulted. Vaulted is an app that allows you to participate in daily cash prize pools without an entry fee. That is VLTED, Vaulted. The thing you're going to like about it, it's got a challenge feature so you can prove that you are smarter than your friends. Download the app, store your predictions, and join daily cash prize pools today. Here is my challenge, Mac. Here is my prediction. Clemson's going to win the ACC this year. Clemson's the best team in the ACC, and they are going to take home an ACC regular season title when things are all said and done. Is that crazy?
No, that's not crazy at all. Not one bit. In fact, I don't want to say they're the favorite, but I think if you were a betting man, based on who they've played and how they've played, I don't think it's crazy. When those students get back from Christmas break and the ACC starts really getting rolling, it's going to be hard to win at Clemson. And those guys are built to win on the road. I love Brad's teams in terms of their toughness in the half court defensively. I don't think it's crazy at all.
I think Clemson's a quality team.
I'm gonna do exactly what Fanda did, where I say, T.O., I respect the hell out of your opinion, but you're fucking wrong. I love Oklahoma. I love this Oklahoma group.
We're just falling off the Chris Beard bandwagon. Like
no, like I look.
Is that what we're doing?
No,
are we just ignoring the fact that because he's in Oxford, he's in a small media market, so we have to ignore him? He doesn't have anybody from Newark. Like, what are we doing?
Absolutely not. Like, look, I think Chris Beard's going to do very good things at Ole Miss. I think that Ole Miss is a tournament team. I think that they are going to make a lot of noise in the SEC, but I think that they're probably going to end up like as a 507 or 8 seed kind of a thing, right? I do think that that Oklahoma, they might be a top 14 in the Big 12. Like, I don't think that that's crazy. We know who the top 3 is, right? It's Kansas, Houston, Baylor. I think there's a real chance that Oklahoma is the next best team out of that group in the Big 12. I love their guards. I hear what you're saying about JV McCollum. I do think that having a guy that can be a creator in Milos Uzan helps alleviate some of the pressure on him. They got a billion big wings that are super athletic, and they got a combination of Sam Godwin, who's like an athletic rim running,
dude, I can't believe versatile. He's a good player for them. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I saw that kid play at Wofford, and I was like, he's transferring to Oklahoma. They must be running out of scholarship guys.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was a walk-on. Like he transferred in as a walk-on because he's from Oklahoma, and now he's on scholarship. Yeah. But the combination of him and John Hughley, I think, is that's another one. Like John Hughley's bought in. Like he's not the guy that he was at Pitt. He's bought in. What do you got over there, T.O.? Are we gonna get a good? Oh, he's on mute. All right. So, Fana, I'm with you. I'm all the way in on Oklahoma. I think that they are probably the 4th best team in the Big 12. I love the length. I love the athleticism. I love Porter Moser. And I think, is it crazy to say that all 3 of these teams are second weekend teams in the NCAA tournament?
I'm not ready to say that yet about Ole Miss. I think that they're a good team. I think that they make the NCAA tournament. I think they can win a game, but I need to see them in the tough physical SEC. I think they're going to be great at home. You know, I think that we always thought that Beard would take over there. He would reinvigorate that fan base, get Oxford going, and that's what's going to happen. But Oklahoma and Clemson, you're not going to get objections from me. I mean, to me, what makes Clemson so good is they're balanced. PJ Hall he's the best player in the league.
Well, they're both kind of built similar, right? Like they got 2 guards that can create. One is more of a scorer, one is more of a facilitator. They got a bunch of athletic guys at the 3 and 4 spot that they can give you different looks. And then they got production out of the 5 spot. Now, I think Clemson's 5 spot is a little bit better than Oklahoma's. I think Oklahoma has a little bit more on the wings. They both have really good guards, but like that's kind of the formula, right? 2 creators, switch 1 through 4. I got a 5-man that if you need to can stretch the floor.
Yeah, and for me, Joe Girard has given them credibility because he's fitting there. They've made him fit defensively, better defender than maybe he was getting credit for because he was in a weak defensive system at Syracuse. Who, by the way, I still think that there's something there with Syracuse. Okay?
Yeah, we'll see.
I still think
they gave up 84 points to Virginia. They have some things they need to figure out defensively.
I know, but with Clemson, Chase Hunter, like they don't. I texted this to Terrence over the weekend. Hall is the best player in the ACC today, and may be all year. But they don't need any one piece to their puzzle to be great. To be great. To be great teams. That's the sign that you've got the formula to make a Sweet 16.
Yep. I agree.
And then too, like that, the guy who really showed up against South Carolina was a guy that I picked that could be a breakout candidate, and that was Chauncey Wiggins, he's listed at 6'10". He's every bit of it, and like just having a guy who can knock down shots from the outside, like at that size, at 6'10" to be able to knock him down at that size. I mean, he's shooting 35% this year. Last year he was at 40. Now he's not a high volume guy, but he doesn't have to be. Like, they can throw a lot of interesting coverages at you with 3 dudes that are really big and can guard.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.